If you're into stats, this could be your ticket to winning. And it is totally legal. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rim. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
15.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome in and a very happy Wednesday to you now, July the 2nd. Get a load of that. The dog days of summer, well, they are upon us. We got plenty of Major League Baseball action with a bunch of double headers. Game one's in the bag already, and wouldn't you know it, the Mets still can't hit or win games. Shocker. But we got a lot more going on for you as well, so we'll run down the Major League Baseball scoreboard. We'll get you caught up with all of the latest in the NBA free agency and maybe a new coaching hire happening in the NBA. A lot to get to, but let's not forget we are, well, just a couple of weeks away, I think, from the final major in the PGA Tour season. But before that, we got the John Deere Classic, and we got Mr. John Deere. I think he's related to John Deere. His like third cousin.
Yes.
It might be Cam Stewart in the house, ready to go.
My rider. Here we
Get
go.
your rider helmet on there, Cam.
I am going to get my rider on, Joe. I'll tell you one thing. You see Jason Day's overalls? I'm like, what's this guy doing? Stacking hay bales at the John Deere? But hey, golf never sleeps, buddy. And that's the one sport. These guys love money more than anybody. So they just keep on playing and playing and playing. And some guys are there this week, but Joe, a lot of the big names not here, but I really don't care. It's about making money. We had a lot of good placements last week, but we didn't have Poltergeist or Potgeiter winning on the 6th hole of the playoff, beating my boy Max Gracerman from Duke. But hopefully the John Deere, I'll tell you one thing, Joe, you better bring the birdies out. Like, what's the final score going to be? Like minus 28, minus 32. If you don't get on a heater with birdies, you're done in this tournament. You need to go very, very low.
Yeah, well, we thought that last week, too, and certainly we thought the number would have gotten up there, and it was, anytime you get a playoff and you're already 20 under par, birdies are coming here. Probably going to be the same thing this week here, but not some of the biggest names in the book, but names, Cam, that I have seen you have had all throughout the season. You've cashed a lot of tickets with some of these guys. So kick us off, man. What are we looking at? First round leader to begin with in this tournament.
Oh, you want to go first round leaders, Joe, out of the great. You got a couple old friends on the list. Cashmere Keith Mitchell, he's almost a must play. Joe, honestly, if you were my book guy, you know what I mean? It's like you could write down my tickets. Morency already does every night. He's like, I know what you're betting. Yeah, I'm betting Keith Mitchell at 50-1 because he loves Thursdays. Here's the thing that really pissed me off last week. I had Jake Afternoon Knapp for a first round leader. First round, he sets a record in the second round, dude, on Friday. Can't you do it on Thursday, Jake? Give me some money. Take a nap at 50. JT Poston, He's staying in the winning house this week, Joe. Apparently, the house he's staying at, every guy for the last 3 years has won. I like Poston, but I really like him as a first-round leader at 55-1. Cole Kane, he's back. Eric Cole, can't get rid of this guy. Joe says I have an addiction to bad golfers. He might be that guy. And now we're digging deeper. Jackson Super Duper. Jackson Zuber. Who, as Carver says, well, he actually likes Thursdays too. He's 120-1. And Trey Mullinax, I'm really digging deep this week, Joe. 130-1 first-round leaders. He actually has a pretty good first-round scoring average, but I need one of these guys to top in. Then we got 4th of July, so I can put more money on Joey Chestnut in the hot dog eating contest.
Oh, you gotta love that. We all know the postman never delivers on Sunday, Cam. So a first-round leader. Yes. That's right. That's the way to look at it here. But run us through now some top tens, which I'm going to assume you might have one or two that you like overall in that same category.
I do there, Joe. And the thing is, a lot of people in the golf world like Dangerous Denny McCarthy this week. And, I get it. There's a lot of guys around that. His price, I wanted a little bit more. But for a top 10 at plus 260, I'll play that game. Sunjay Im is actually being disrespected in this field. I think he'll be able to have a lot of birdies. It's all about the putter with him. Plus 350 is a great price for him. Defending champion, Thompson's Water Seal. Davis Thompson is plus 165 for a top 20. A perfect track for him. He went bananas. Bud Cauley in a weekend field will do very well, in my opinion, at plus 170. He's had great performances this year. Ryan Gerard, another guy I told you guys about, top 20 machine from the University of North Carolina. His buddy Ben Griffin from North Carolina is the favorite in this tournament. And Thurston Lawrence there. This isn't Gilligan's Island, but at plus 230, I'm down with that program, Joe, for Thurston Lawrence, the pride of South Africa. Very strong performances lately. Now we're going to go with winners, Joe. Michael Bjornsson almost got it done for me last week. I've had this guy at 80-1, 100-1. You're not going to get that price anymore. He was knocking on the door. JT Poston. I should probably lose that pick. The Poston never delivers on Sunday. Well, maybe he will this time at 35-1, staying in the winning house at the John Deere. Jake Knapp literally missed a short putt to get into that playoff. It would have been a 4-man playoff last week. Everybody, I talked to Keith Stewart. I was just on with Carver doing Coast to Coast. Got her up and put him down. This is the week. Watch out, ladies and gentlemen. I'm playing Chris Goddard up all over the board, but I'm going to take him outright. He has been fantastic recently. Top 10 machine. And this course at the John Deere, he's a birdie guy. So I really, really like him at 40-1. And 45, Luke Clanton. Yeah, he's a young kid. He had a top 10 here last year. If we can break through at 45-1, I'm down, Joe. Not as many picks. I'm not going to go for the 140-1s. But if you do like some value, I guess you could say, Zach Johnson has won this tournament in 2012. He's one of those guys, basically like his 5th major. He's 140, 150-1 if you want to take a real flyer.
I'm still trying to figure out how Denny McCarthy, with the way he putts, how does he not have a PGA Tour win yet? Cam, the guy's always one of the best putters on tour, and he just always seems to be a little bit short. So I love him in the top 10 because that putter will sink a lot of birdies here this week. Love this tournament coming up. Are you looking ahead, by the way? Any future bets on the Open Championship?
Funny you mentioned that, Joe. You know me and my portfolio. Sometimes when I win, I'll do a couple clicks on the futures. I got Lowry on a bet boost. One thing I know about Shane Lowry is he always plays well at the Open Championship. He's 28-1, and that's a really good price for Lowry, I think. And the one that really stuck out to me was Robert McIntyre. Let's remember Robert McIntyre almost won the U.S. Open, almost won the Canadian Open. He's Scottish at the Open Championship. Can he play and win? Yes. Did he play great golf in rain and almost won when he was sitting there before J.J. Spawn went bananas on the final 2 holes? It's a perfect type of track for him. The Scots, they don't care. They like it wet. They like it dirty. They don't mind. And his number at 45-1, I don't think you're going to get that number with McIntyre again. Those are a couple guys I hit the trigger on, Joe. I think they're very, very live. And I'll look at some others too, but those two have made my card so far.
Are we fading Rory in his hometown here?
Yes. I'm not betting Rory McIlroy for you give me matchups. The thing about Rory is, what are you going to do when you're hitting it in 10 feet of fescue? Like, I know he's really strong and he can get it out there, Joe, but do I really want to bet him at those numbers? Like, I really want to find guys like, that's the whole problem with Rory McIlroy. Can he get out of it? Sure, if he has a good lie, but there's going to be times where Rory sprays it, and if his driver is not straight, this guy is totally in trouble at an Open Championship. It's one of those things. Shane Lowry can hit it straight. McIntyre can hit it straight. I want guys who are going to put it in play, put it on the green and have the patience. One thing about Rory, I'll give him credit for, he's a grinder, but Joe, you know his driver can get so damn loose, especially in conditions. So I don't want any part of him right now at that price, especially.
I'm playing him not to make the cut. How's that, Cam? That's my Rory bet this week because I think above the shoulders, he's got a few other things on his mind right now other than golf, which might be an issue. All the pressure in the world there on him. All right, Cam Stewart, I thought for sure you were going to say Eric Cole, and I was just going to walk off set, but I'm glad you didn't.
Trevor's got him.
Just
He
first round
needs
lead.
more help than me. Like, I'm just like, you're
Yeah, he
betting this
does.
guy again. I'm just going to take the first round leader on Cole. Like, I can't. Yes.
In Carter's defense, though, he's usually drunk. So, Cam Stewart, we appreciate it as always. Well, that's a good point, though. We'll see you. Game Time Decisions continues on the grid.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Two guys that can do it all. It's
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rim. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of 15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip, try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Pages. Let's get lucky.
All right, welcome back in here. Game Time Decisions on this Wednesday. Again, dog days of summer are upon us. Plenty of Major League Baseball action, including a bunch of games getting ready to get underway. Let's bring them back. Our good friend Cam Stewart in the house. And Cam, a couple of games you were looking at here tonight. You asked me off air, boy, the Marlins seem to have it going. And yes, they do. But boy, oh boy, I wouldn't be shocked if everyone who's now decent on the Marlins gets traded in a couple of weeks, because that's how they roll. But at some point, this train, you got to get off this train. Yeah. And the Twins, do we trust them to get it done, or are we just looking for runs?
It's gas can alert with Richardson going for Minnesota. And the thing about Junk is he's been good, but he's bound to regress. The numbers tell you so. So the live line, they just went underway in this game, like just off. and 8.5 is still the live number. So I would take 8.5 with the Twins and the Marlins. Milwaukee, I get it. People are like, hey, the Mets going to bounce back. Nah, I love this pitcher for Milwaukee. Joe, you love him too. And the thing about the Mets is they can't hit right now. They were down. Milwaukee was down 2-1 in that game. They ended up winning 7-2. 6 unanswered runs in that game at a plus price this afternoon. So I'm going back with the Brew Crew. And a little bit crazy, Joe, I do my annual dumpster dive every night in Washington. That line kind of tells you all you need to know. I know the Nationals aren't a great baseball team, but I'm betting this one on the pitching match. I don't trust Flaherty right now. He's obviously lost a little bit. And with the Washington Nationals losing that first game, I like to take these teams getting annihilated in the first game of a double dip. I'll come back with Washington at minus 106. You also talked about the Blue Jays. I know you like the over 8.5, and I wouldn't steer you away from that too with Warren and Berrios, but you're going to give me Toronto plus 105 against the Yankees hot right now. I'll take another shot with them, and I like the over 8 in Cleveland and the Guardians. Let's do that. Sorry, Cleveland and the Cubs over 8. I think
and
we
the
get
Cubs.
some game. Yeah, Cubbies.
I think we got some wind going out there tonight, too, at Wrigley. All right, Cam Stewart, you are out of here, my friend. We appreciate the insight. As always, we got it, man. Appreciate it. We're rooting those tickets home for you here tonight, especially, listen, if Washington is going to win a game, it's got to be with Gore on the mound at home, and I am with Cam. I like Washington at least in the first 5 in this one as well. I think Gore has a big advantage over Flaherty, who his last 3 starts has nearly, I think, a 12 ERA. He's given up more home runs in his last 3 starts than he's done all year long. I don't know if he's hurt or if something else is going on, but I'm with Cam. I like that one a lot. And if it ain't broke, why are we trying to fix it? The Mets are broke. Milwaukee is not. And Milwaukee is going to go ahead and send out their version of Paul Skeens and Mizorowski here. And with a struggling lineup of the Mets, this is not the kid that I would think you're all of a sudden going to bust out with here. I like Milwaukee and those bats to keep it hot here tonight in game 2, especially since it's going to be, it looks like an opener for the Mets. Then Tidwell is going to come in. It's just a hodgepodge of garbage for the Mets right now. And if those bats don't get going, the Mets are in trouble here in the near future. I wonder if they held another team meeting today after the grand slam they gave up there in the 6th inning to the Brewers there, which basically put that game out of reach for the Mets. But plenty of other Major League Baseball coming up here. We'll get you ready coming up top of the hour. You heard Cam talk about it. The Angels in Atlanta, Kikuchi versus Atlanta's rookie Fuentes getting his 3rd start. Atlanta got blanked last night. I can't figure this team out. Mark Zinno will join us next hour. He's in Atlanta. We'll get his thoughts on what's going on with this team, but it is hard to trust Atlanta here at that point, even at home. And Kikuchi has been on the money here as of late over the last month, and really since the end of May right through June. He has been basically unhittable, and boy, oh boy, Atlanta just not the team that we thought they were going to be. At some point, you just have to say you are what your record says you are. And right now, Atlanta, their record is below 500, and that's exactly what this team is. Yankees and Toronto getting ready also just after the top of the hour. And in a strange turn of events there earlier today, the Red Sox and Reds had a suspended game from last night that they had to finish today, and they finished it. They ended up getting it done. 5-3 Red Sox won that game. Nick Martinez going tonight for Cincinnati. There's going to be an opener for the Red Sox here in that spot. That game getting ready to go just after the top of the hour. Now, Nick Martinez was the guy that almost threw the no-hitter against his former team, the Padres, last time out. And the Reds are going to need him here to be pretty good because it has not gone well here for the Reds at Fenway Park. So a lot of Major League Baseball storylines, headlines here tonight, including Clayton Kershaw. Will he get it done? Will he get the 3,000 strikeout tonight against the White Sox at home? That's your late game. We'll talk more about that coming up. And if you haven't heard, of course, big news throughout the NBA all day long here today as we figured out more free agency signings here today with DeAndre Ayton now, the latest being announced that he is heading to the Lakers. Can you believe that? DeAndre Ayton heading to the Lakers, agrees to sign with them, which I think is fascinating here because I still don't know whether or not LeBron is going to be a part of this or traded or not, but that's a reasonable price on its own here for Ayton, who was, I think, set to make 35 and a half, maybe 36 million this year, which kind of shied some teams away, but they were able to work out a buyout with the Trailblazers over the weekend. And that, of course, gave them some flexibility here. And it looks like he wanted to play with the Lakers. But the other big story, of course, is the New York Knicks. They got rid of Thibs, the old has-been retread, in order to be able to sign another has-been retread head coach in Mike Brown. Unbelievable. The New York Knicks. Not sure that's exactly their guy, but we'll have more on it as Game Time Decisions continues on the grid.
We all know a night out at the club in Vegas can get a little bit pricey, but I've got a tip that can save you a cover fee at some of the hottest nightclubs. All you have to do is sign up online for free with a credible guest list service. Then, just show up before 10:30 and check right in. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
No way that I'm betting on the Cleveland Cavaliers for any reason whatsoever.
No.
Ever. Like, when they had LeBron James, it was a different story. I do not believe, I think Spider's great. He's no LeBron. I don't see him carrying them to a title. And I don't believe in the Knicks at all. The Knicks never get it done.
Pharrell Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
Kevin Durant, at the age of 36 years old, after 17 seasons that he has played in the NBA DRS, is now on his way to H-Town.
I don't think it's a great move. I wanted him to go to a ready-made championship team full of a veteran roster and see if he can ring chase that way. Not to go to an organization on the come-up that if you just stay the course, and also, what better blueprint do we have than just staying the course than OKC, right?
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
Rearranging that rim. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
Just a little flyer, couple 18.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in. Here we go. Game Time Decisions on the SportsGrid Network as we get ready to close out this first hour together. We got much more to get to. Plenty of Major League Baseball action on tap here tonight. After we saw a bunch of game ones of some doubleheaders as Mother Nature did not cooperate well yesterday, especially in the Northeast. So that gave us an opportunity to get a couple of games early this afternoon. One of them, of course, was the Phillies welcoming back Bryce Harper. They had Abel, the rookie, on the mound. Didn't work out that great for him as Nick Pivetta was able to get the win for the struggling Padres. That was a 6-4 win by the Padres earlier. Now they're underway, game number 2, and it is no score in this game. Dylan Cease on the mound for the Padres. Sanchez going for the Phillies. Padres continue to have trouble hitting left-handed pitching, and we've got no score in that one. In-game total, by the way, 4.5 on a nice, hot, humid night in Philadelphia. We also saw Washington get destroyed by Detroit earlier today, 11-2, but that's okay. Help is on the way because in game 2 here, the one and only Mackenzie Gore on the mound for Washington, taking on Flaherty, who's been lit up like a Christmas tree his last 3 starts. But can Washington get it done? They haven't won a ton of games for Mackenzie Gore here, but this would be a pretty good spot, I think, to be able to back him, as Flaherty just not missing a lot of barrels as of late in that one there. And we did get the Milwaukee game against the New York Mets. The New York Mets continuing to struggle. Clay Holmes wasn't the answer earlier this afternoon. Freddie Peralta gets it done. The bats again for Milwaukee get it done. And tonight, in order to break this funk they're in, they're going to have to take on one of the best rookies in Major League Baseball in Mizorowski for the Milwaukee Brewers. Now, we also have, let's not forget, in addition to some Major League Baseball, we've got plenty of soccer going on still, and we got to crown a champion here on the World Cup. And call me crazy here, but there have been, I don't know, Marcelino Ortiz, bring him in here. On one side, like the Saturday games are all teams that look like we have gotten exactly who we were supposed to get in these finals. And we'll get our man Marcelino Ortiz in here to break it down. But we have gotten a whole lot of upsets in this Club World Cup as well. And we've got a lot of guys playing that we did not think were going to be here. So upsets alive and well in the Club World Cup. We'll get Marcelino's thoughts here in just a minute. And again, don't forget, plenty of NBA free agency news continuing to break. In fact, we just learned a little bit earlier that, can you believe it? Chris Paul could be heading back to the Phoenix Suns. How old is Chris Paul? I'll give you a guess. It is not in his 30s, but yes, it could very well be the 40-year-old guard playing. By the way, he played in all 82 games last season for the San Antonio Spurs, and I don't know that a lot of people realize that. So Chris Paul may be on his way back to the Phoenix Suns there, who are clearly in rebuild mode, who have absolutely no idea where they're going, including, well, the New York Knicks, if they have not made enough news with the idea that they are going to replace one old school has-been retread head coach in Tom Thibodeau. If he wasn't good enough, well, then let's just bring in a second has-been retread head coach in Mike Brown. I cannot believe that you fired Thibs right after you got knocked out of the postseason because you didn't think it was going to work. You wanted fresh blood and a new face and yada, yada. And the whole plan along was Mike Brown. That was the idea, Knicks. To make, add insult to injury, Knicks fans have to also deal with the understanding that it could be Ben Simmons on his way to the New York Knicks. Apparently, they have interest in Simmons, who was a Clipper and a Brooklyn Net last season. He did play 18 games for the Clippers. He did average 2.9 points. So, that will definitely help the Knicks. What are they doing? They need help themselves. We don't, though, because we'll be back another hour of Game Time Decisions next here on the Grid.
We all know a night out at the club in Vegas can get a little bit pricey, but I've got a tip that can save you a cover fee at some of the hottest nightclubs. All you have to do is sign up online for free with a credible guest list service. Then just show up before 10:30 and check right in. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
No way that I'm betting on the Cleveland Cavaliers for any reason whatsoever.
No.
Ever. Like, when they had LeBron James, it was a different story. I think Spider's great. He's no LeBron. I don't see him carrying them to a title. And I don't believe in the Knicks at all. The Knicks never get it done.
Pharrell Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
Kevin Durant, at the age of 36 years old, after 17 seasons that he has played in the NBA DRS, is now on his way to H-Town.
I don't think it's a great move. I wanted him to go to a ready-made championship team full of a veteran roster and see if he can ring chase that way. Not to go to an organization on the come-up that if you just stay the course, and also, what better blueprint do we have than just staying the course and okay, safe, right?
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
Just a little flyer, couple of
15.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome in. Here we go. Another hour of Game Time Decisions here on the SportsGrid Network. A happy Wednesday to you. Now off and running in the month of July. Can't believe it. Holiday weekend coming up. Plenty of Major League Baseball. We've got plenty of NBA offseason free agency news. A new signing by the New York Knicks. They have their new head coach. Boy, there's a lot to unpack with that, as also the NHL continues. Wimbledon underway. And let's not forget, we got plenty going on in the world of soccer. In fact, pretty big game for Team USA coming up in the Gold Cup we'll get to against Guatemala. That's turning out to be an interesting tournament. But let's bring back in our good friend Marcelino Ortiz here, because Marcelino, I was saying, man, these Friday games were not exactly the teams we thought we were going to be getting. It's been an interesting Club World Cup here, but my goodness, these are not some of the teams that we thought would be playing on Friday.
Without a doubt, full of surprises, especially with Al Hilal. That I gotta accept. Flew under my radar, but I should have seen it because they already had tied Real Madrid on the first game of the group stage, showing that they came to play. Let's understand that these teams from the Middle East are loaded with resources. Their rosters rival easily the level of expenses that any European team. So it's not a big surprise to see that they are putting a big fight. But that game with Manchester City was incredible. But now we have amazing quarterfinals. We have Fluminense versus Al Hilal. This game is dead even. I don't really know what is going to happen, but I can assure you that both teams will score. They will come out hungry, and they are power squads. Now, Palmeiras versus Chelsea. This one is going to be tough. Palmeiras is a great team, but I don't think they have what it takes to beat Chelsea. I see Chelsea taking this game for sure. Now, the final in the quarterfinals. PSG versus Bayern Munich. A lot of parlays and so winners are going to be destroyed in this game because nobody expected it to come so soon. I was expecting both teams to move all the way to the final by advancing in first place of their groups. That was not the case, and now they have to eliminate each other. In this one, I believe PSG has the edge. This team is just used to winning. They have been winning everything in front of them for the last 3 months. Bayern is a very, very skilled team. They are also champions in their DNA, but I believe that right now Luis Enrique has the team under his and they will win in this tournament. Now, the final game, Real Madrid versus Borussia Dortmund, where Borussia Dortmund really was lucky to survive Monterrey. Monterrey was clearly superior in the second half, and they should have deserved to move on. But that's soccer sometimes, and now we'll see them end their competition in front of Real Madrid. There's no way they're gonna beat Los Blancos. So that's my quick analysis for the Club World Cup ahead of us. We today resting on that tournament, but I'm well dressed for the occasion, as you can see.
Yeah, you are ready to go here. And listen, we've got other matches going on here. The Gold Cup, USA versus Guatemala, getting ready to go right now. And my goodness, the United States men's team, that group stage, it was like they were playing a bunch of JV teams. I cannot believe what I was witnessing here. Pretty tough shot against Costa Rica, but they moved through it. So what are we expecting here from Team USA?
As you can see, expecting both favorites to win. I see the U.S. and Mexico both advancing to the final. I see the U.S. experiencing a little bit more trouble doing so. I believe that there is an opportunity to bet on both teams scoring and maybe scoring, being tied at the end of the 90 minutes and going into extra time. I think that they're going to show, the Central American team is going to show a lot of resilience, a lot of defensive order. And unfortunately, the most skilled attacking players from the U.S. are not with the squad right now.
Yeah, well, Team USA and Guatemala is getting ready actually to drop coming up here in just a couple of minutes with Team USA, the big favorite. The total is interesting, under 3 goals, 2.5 goals I'm seeing for both that game as well as Honduras and Mexico, which will be at 10 o'clock Eastern time here tonight. We want to thank Marcelino there for stopping by. Of course, we'll talk to him all throughout the week here, right through the finals and the championships of the Gold Cup as well as the Club World Cup. In the meantime, we got plenty going on in Major League Baseball right now. Action underway tonight, and just like that, the Nats have jumped all over Detroit and Jack Flaherty, which, if you ask me, he don't look right. And he's had a history of having some injuries and some concerns throughout the last couple of years. And something tells me I would not be shocked if we learn that Flaherty might be heading to the IL at some point. He is basically throwing batting practice, and he has now. This will be his fourth consecutive start in which he is just getting rocketed here. And I don't know that they're done scoring right now. It is 2-0 the Nats over Detroit, who won game 1 of this doubleheader. Also, Minnesota comes out swinging, and Miami's like, well, I'll take your run, and we'll match it with a run. They are in the bottom of the second, and that game is knotted up at 1 apiece. It's very hard to bet on a pitcher whose last name is Junk, but that's exactly what a lot of folks have been doing here today, as the Miami Marlins, one of the hottest teams in Major League Baseball, and it is continued here. They took the game last night against Minnesota, and they don't appear to be backing down to anybody at this point. 1-1 going up against Minnesota. Miami is at home. S. Wood Richardson is on the mound for Minnesota in that one. The Yankees are underway in Toronto here, and it looks like Will Warren taking on Jose Barrios. Now, Barrios has been very good at home in Toronto over the last couple of years. His numbers are much better at the Rogers Center than they have been on the road. The problem is they've been better against just about everyone except the Yankees. The Yankees have hit Barrios very hard over the last couple of seasons here. It doesn't matter where they're playing him. They know him very well. They also know the bullpen very well. I like the over in this game. It closed at 8.5. I just think runs are coming. Do not trust Will Warren, especially on the road. The rookie still trying to figure it out. It would not shock me if the balls are flying out of the Rogers Center here tonight, and we get a ton of runs. We did just get a Max Kepler 2-run home run for the Philadelphia Phillies, who are now on top of Dylan Cease 2-1 in Philadelphia there. The Padres handled business in game one earlier today. Nick Pivetta got the win there, but now Dylan Cease finds himself down a run, and the Padres in that one, they're in the bottom of the fourth, by the way, 2-1 in that game. Getting ready to see if the Mets can figure it out. That game is just underway, game two of their doubleheader. Mizorowski is a beast, this kid here for Milwaukee. Will the Mets bats be able to figure it out against one of the most coveted rookie pitchers in Major League Baseball since Paul Skeens? And he and Paul Skeens are being talked about in the same breath, so you know the kid is impressive. We'll see if the Mets bats can get it going here in game two. Otherwise, it's going to go from bad to worse at Citi Field. We'll have more as Game Time Decisions continues on the grid.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rhythm. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip, try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
All right, welcome back in. Here we go. Game Time Decisions here on the SportsGrid Network. I'm Joe Raineri. Appreciate you stopping by as we've got plenty going on in Major League Baseball. Some great games still to come here to help us navigate through it all is Mr. Minnesota Twin himself, Mark Zinno, in the house because he sat in this seat last night, exactly the same time, and told us, not buying Miami. There's no way. I think Joe Ryan on the mound, Minnesota is going to get it done. And, of course, Minnesota lets us down. So, of course, you're going to bet Miami tonight, right? Or no?
Yeah, well, the shocking news is that the 2025 Marlins have won the World Series. They may never lose again. But I was dumb enough to fire back on the Twins again tonight. Like it was out of principle. I was willing to lose it again. Although the better part of me said, take Miami plus 1.5 on the run line because they've won 8 consecutive games as a dog. The last time that happened, you have to go all the way back to 2007 when the Guardians, used to be called the Indians back then, won 8 straight as an underdog, 8 in a row. So that's where the Marlins are. The Marlins haven't won 9 games in a row since 2008. I'm not in love with Simeon Woods Richardson as the starter, but I know Miami doesn't score much at home, and that's kind of what I just have to hope again, and that maybe, just maybe, the Twins bats will wake up here.
I hope so. Did you like the over in the game, or do you think that we're probably looking at another under spot because Miami just quietly is just every game's an over with them?
Yeah, until last night when they couldn't score. I mean, look, as I said, they scored the most runs on the road in June, scored the fewest runs at home in June. So they don't score at home at all. And for whatever reason, they're not very good at doing it. And here's the crazy part. Kyle Stowers hit a home run last night, and he hit the home run again tonight. The Marlins hit 5 home runs at home in the month of June. They've already hit 2 in the month of July at home in back-to-back games. So, the variance of baseball never ceases to amaze me here. But the Twins, if they get to 4 runs here, should be enough. It was funny because I also looked at the Marlins team total under at 3.5, and I'm like, I can't get involved with 3.5. It feels too low. But part of me also says if the Marlins get to 4 runs, they're probably winning this game because I don't know that the Twins are getting to 5.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm 100%. I'm on that with you here. We talked about it last night. There were a couple of lines we just did not understand. One of them was Houston in Colorado. It felt like a very cheap line, but we had to hold on as they scored all their runs early and then gave up a solo home run in the 9th to make it a 6-5 game. They got the win. And you got Brown on the mound here tonight. And again, the number is now through the roof, almost $3 here, Zin. But Colorado clearly looks like they could be a menace here at some point.
I mean, again, you had 11.5 last night. They got to 11. And you have 10.5 tonight. Part of this is that you just don't trust the Rockies to do enough lifting here. Like, if Houston doesn't get to 8, and I can't remember the last time Houston scored 8 runs in a game. I don't know that this goes over because I don't see the Rockies scoring more than 4. That's kind of just the way it breaks down for me. Like, I understand it's in Coors Field. I understand there are big numbers out there. I understand that Austin Gomber is a Gomber, but it's still, it's Hunter Brown. Like, how are the Rockies going to score? I mean, you have to figure that they're going to be shut down for 5 innings here, if not longer, 5 or 6 innings. And the Astros bullpen, last time I checked, still pretty good. So, the point is simply that I don't see where the Rockies can do their half of the heavy lifting here. If they're held to 3 or less, I don't see Houston scoring 8.
Especially against Hunter Brown. I mean, I don't see them being able to get to him at all in this spot.
Is there a world
I wanted to ask
the Rockies team total under is the play?
What is it?
3.5?
3.5?
I mean,
nope. I don't see it happening. And the bullpen's even better. So for Houston. So I'm with you. Any which way because you can't lay that price with Houston tonight, even with Hunter Brown on the mound. I bet Atlanta last night. That was fun. And now Kikuchi against, what is the buzz with this rookie Fuentes? Is he the real deal? Is he, they keep throwing him out there. He looks like he's got electric stuff, but if you don't score any runs, you're not winning games, Atlanta.
Yeah, and that's part of the problem. Look, the 20-year-old righty from Colombia has been banged around in his first 2 starts against the Marlins and the Mets. He's given up 10 earned runs in 8 1/3 innings on 14 hits. And 3 home runs and 2 starts. So I don't know what to think at this point in time. He's sort of here just as an emergency situation now that Sale is on the IL, Smith-Shawver's on the IL, and today Spencer Schwellenbach went on the IL. So the Braves' playoff chances are officially dead at this point in time. And I'm still wondering when odds makers are going to adjust and start pricing them correctly. But nonetheless, again, Kikuchi on the road is not a spot where I want to back him. I'll do it at home, but certainly not on the road here. And especially with the Braves offense being bad, it's hard to know if they're going to break out tonight against Kikuchi or not.
And Kikuchi, I mean, to his credit, has been phenomenal over the last month or so for the Angels. And, keeps the ball in the ballpark. Atlanta, you better start scoring some runs here. Weather conducive to an over if they do hit here tonight, Sid?
I mean, is it still raining in Atlanta? Is it still pouring? Are there still tornado clouds over Cobb County? Because that's what there was last night. So I think the weather's all in good shape. Yeah, the weather's all in good shape here. Balls should be flying out. Look, maybe tonight's not a bad night for a Ronald Acuna home run prop.
I love that spot there. Also, a couple other games coming up tonight. You got Kershaw going for 3,000 strikeouts. And yet all I'm hearing, of course, is people fading your strikeout prop, which I think is 4.5 here tonight. We'll talk more about it, though, with Mark Zinno coming up, including Baltimore and Texas, and whether or not Texas can keep it going with Evaldi on the mound against Sagano. I do not understand the total in that game. And Kansas City, can they actually put back-to-back wins together in Seattle? I have my doubts. We'll see what Zinno says here. And, mixing an Imanaga night here for the Cubs. We've got plenty more to talk about here. Game Time Decisions continues on the Grid.
We all know a night out at the club in Vegas can get a little bit pricey, but I've got a tip that can save you a cover fee at some of the hottest nightclubs. All you have to do is sign up online for free with a credible guest list service. Then, just show up before 10:30 and check right in. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
No way that I'm betting on the Cleveland Cavaliers for any reason whatsoever.
No.
Ever. Like, when they had LeBron James, it was a different story. I think Spider's great. He's no LeBron. I don't see him carrying them to a title. And I don't believe in the Knicks at all. The Knicks never get it done.
Pharrell Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
Kevin Durant, at the age of 36 years old, after 17 seasons that he has played in the NBA DRS, is now on his way to H-Town.
I don't think it's a great move. I wanted him to go to a ready-made championship team full of a veteran roster and see if he can ring chase that way. Not to go to an organization on the come-up that if you just stay the course, and also, what better blueprint do we have than just staying the course and safe, right?
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in here. Game Time Decisions on the SportsGrid Network. Let's bring back in our good friend Mark Zinno here as we're keeping an eye on the scoreboard. Good news, Zin. Still 1-1, Minnesota at Miami, so no more runs have scored there. But some great games coming up a little bit later tonight. I don't like the Guardians at all. I don't like BB on the road. Imanaga at home. Is it just Cubs and let's not overthink it?
I played Cubs first five. I just kind of felt like, when you talk about Bybee and his road ERA, that is 4.96. He's allowed 12 of his 15 home runs on the road this year. This is a Cubs lineup that's 12th in home runs hit at home, 9th in runs scored at home. You get Shota Imanaga against the Guardians lineup that has the 5th lowest batting average on the road this year. Also bottom 5 in OPS and WRC plus against lefties this year. I think the Cubs jump on top early. I was willing to lay the half run, and it was, around $1.15. Very manageable number here. So I just played it first 5, left the bullpens out of it.
I like that I like that a lot, actually. I also like what I'm seeing from the Texas bats who have finally figured it out. I don't like Sagano at all. I think he's a gas can waiting to happen here. And I got a total of 8 with Eovaldi, who I think this is only his second outing after coming off the IL, and he only went 3 innings against Seattle. Are we not getting runs here?
I mean, for whatever reason, Texas can't score pretty much against anybody. For some reason, they score against the Orioles. They got shut out the first time these two teams met 6-0, but then they've scored 6, 7, 6, and 10. So the Texas Rangers like Orioles pitching, and they like it a lot. So there's reason to believe that they will be able to score here in this game. And I think when it boils down to it here is that Texas at home, where they don't give up a lot of runs. You mentioned Sagano here, and you can't leave the Orioles bullpen out of it. That's the problem. It's such a bad bullpen this year that you want to keep them in it. Texas is a very good bullpen. The numbers, though, at Texas in that minus 150 range, Joe, always kind of makes you a little queasy. I don't want to leave the Orioles bullpen out of it, but maybe, if you're gutsy enough here, you take the Texas team total over and see if you can get a decent price on a 4.5.
Get me some runs. Give me the over 8 in that one here tonight. And what are the chances Kansas City can put back-to-back wins together? Logan Gilbert for Seattle tonight. Cameron going for KC.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I played the Mariners last night. I went back and forth on whether to play the Mariners or play the under, because Kansas City doesn't score and Seattle doesn't score at home. And then lo and behold, Kansas City thankfully scored that run at the top of the 9th to push it over the 8.5. So that made me feel a little bit better. Nonetheless, here, I wouldn't bank on the Royals to score a bunch again here. I look at this and go Seattle first 5 and hope they can get to Cameron. The problem is, again, you're going to take the tie out of your back pocket. And that's really the issue, because you're not going to get a favorable number here. But you have to look at Cameron. In 3 of his last 4 starts, he's given up 6, 2, and 5. The other one, he shut out the Athletics. But this is also a guy, by the way, when Cameron starts, guess what? The Royals don't win. They're just the team is just 1-7 with him on the mound this year as a starter. So they've lost 5 straight. Make of that what you will. Again, on the road, he's actually been pretty decent in his 4 road starts. So tough to figure out here, but I don't think Kansas City scores much.
So just a quick update. It's 5-0 Toronto in the top of the first. I'm guessing Will Warren has got some issues right now in that game. Yeah, that's not good. 5-0 there. But the good news is it's still 1-1 there with Minnesota and Miami. Are you buying Kershaw getting it done tonight here? That was closer than I think people thought, but it still stayed under last night.
Yeah, look, when you look at the White Sox, right, and you look at their K rate, highest K rate against lefties on the road this year, nearly 29%. I mean, look, when you look at K props, right, strikeout props, you kind of got to focus more on the team that's swinging than the pitcher that's throwing, because that's where you're going to get more normalcy from. You're going to get less variance from that.
I could see him getting it done by the, 4th inning, 4th inning. Would not shock me at all here, with the Dodgers being a big favorite again tonight. History on the line, though, with Kershaw on the mound. Zinno, we appreciate the time as always, my friend. We'll talk to you again as Game Time Decisions continues on the grid.
We all know a night out at the club in Vegas can get a little bit pricey, but I've got a tip that can save you a cover fee at some of the hottest nightclubs. All you have to do is sign up online for free with a credible guest list service. Then, just show up before 10:30 and check right in. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
No way that I'm betting on the Cleveland Cavaliers for any reason whatsoever.
No.
Ever. Like, when they had LeBron James, it was a different story. I think Spider's great. He's no LeBron. I don't see him carrying them to a title. And I don't believe in the Knicks at all. The Knicks never get it done.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Kevin Durant, at the age of 36 years old, after 17 seasons that he has played in the NBA DRS, is now on his way to H-Town.
I don't think it's a great move. I wanted him to go to a ready-made championship team full of a veteran roster and see if he can ring chase that way. Not to go to an organization on the come-up that if you just stay the course, and also, what better blueprint do we have than just staying the course and safe, right?
The early line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in here. Game Time Decisions on the SportsGrid Network. Just a quick update here on the Major League Baseball scoreboard. It's now 7-0 Toronto over the New York Yankees. Oh, yeah, we're still in the bottom of the first inning in that one. Atlanta also losing. It's 2-0 right now as the Angels continue their scorched earth tour right now, especially against Atlanta. They blanked them last night. They're up 2-0 early in this one here. We also had mentioned a lot going on, obviously, dog days of summer, but enjoy it while you can because there is football 3.5 weeks away as the preseason begins. And nobody knows that better as he looking ahead than our good friend Brady Cannon because he's still got a major coming up here, the final major of the PGA Tour season. But we also have a pretty interesting tournament, a classic, the John Deere Classic coming up this week here, Brady. And this one feels like another tune-up, but another big birdie fest. Not the biggest of names, but names that we've been talking about all year long in this one.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, this has really been a breeding ground for where guys get their first win, get their start. I mean, we're talking Sepp Straka got his first win here. Jordan Spieth, Bryson DeChambeau. You know, how are those guys doing these days? So this really has spawned some great careers. It's like America's 4th of July barbecue tournament in the Midwest and the heartland of the country. The fans come out in droves for this thing. It's really a good event. And it's been one of the stronger, sponsored tour events for what is now in the 25th year that they're holding it at TPC Deer Run. So yeah, it's a birdie fest. And certainly there's a lot of no names here, but often it turns out that the guys who win this thing go on to bigger and better things.
So it was funny. I was talking to earlier. I know Denny McCarthy, one of the favorites here, which again, even at 25, 30 to 1, I don't know how big a favorite that is, Brady. But how is it the guy with that putter is not one on the PGA Tour yet?
Yeah, I know. And you and I were talking about him a couple weeks ago at the Travelers. He never got that putter figured out. So he's not a guy that I landed on this week because something seems to be off with Denny McCarthy. Usually we're used to seeing that guy really contend for some wins at the Valero Texas Open. He was good at the Genesis Invitational at Torrey Pines, last year at the Memorial. I mean, he's had a lot of really good tournaments, but it just hasn't really clicked for McCarthy this year. The shortest I went, Joe, you know all too well about this guy, old Chris Kirk, Captain Kirk.
Yep.
I went back to the well with him again. I mean, this tournament, I believe, is very similar to what we had last week. Now, off the tee, it's a little bit different. Off the tee last week is just be a bomber and you're going to be fine. This week, you got to be a little bit more accurate. It's a combination of length and distance. But after that, it's the same old thing. It's grab your wedge. You're going to have a shot from somewhere between 75 and 150 yards. Knock it tight and make the putt. And it's going to be a rinse and repeat all weekend long, just like last week in Detroit. You know, from 150 yards in, these two golf courses are very similar. So I'll take my shot with Chris Kirk again, who is one of the best guys in the field, you know, in that window, that 75 to 150 yards, as we saw all last week long. And unfortunately, guy missed out, got eliminated on the second hole of a playoff.
Yeah, in the most epic fashion. The longest hitter on tour, hits it one on the shortest par 3 on the golf course in the playoff, which is just hilarious here. But we also got a lot of, there's this trophy house thing that guys who stay at this Airbnb win this thing. But I mean, quite honestly, are we looking at 20 under or more here? Is it going to be just, again, Birdie Fest USA? What wins this week here?
Well, you mentioned the trophy house. It's interesting. I think there's 3 people that stay there. I'm not positive, but the last 3 winners in a row have stayed at this particular spot or whatever. And both Chris Kirk and Denny McCarthy are staying there this year. So let's hope it's Kirk. That's who we're on this week. But yeah, the winning score proposition bet here at the Westgate Superbook, 21.5. The average winning score over the last 8 editions has been 22.5. I think they're dumbing it down just by a tick there because it's possible we'll get some weather over the weekend. You know, there's kind of, it seems like thunder showers. We got kind of some monsoon type weather here in Las Vegas right now. It seems like there's thunder showers all over the country going on right now. So in this Quad City, Silvis, Illinois area, first 2 days are supposed to be great. I think you're going to see guys light it up once again, 61, 62, 63. That's all in play. But when we get to the weekend, the wind's supposed to kick up a little bit, and there is a chance of thunder showers. So I think that's why the odds makers are figuring maybe a little less than 22 this year. We'll see.
Oh, I love this. All right, so you've got your eye on a few guys here coming up. Those are some big prices. But you're not on McCarthy, and you're not on maybe the other big name, which is what's his? Why am I the other big name here up at the top of the board? I think
Ben Griffin?
Was Ben Griffin, who, by the way, has already won twice this year, and I don't see anybody talking about him for this one.
Yeah, no, he's the real deal, and he's a tough customer, and we've known that this guy was a good player for a couple of years. He just finally got the monkey off his back, won the team event. That was the last outright we hit back in April at the Zurich Classic. Thought we were going to get another one last week. But then he won again at Colonial, and I think there's a lot of connection to Colonial Country Club here. Jordan Spieth, Zach Johnson, Steve Stricker have all won at Colonial. They've all won here at the John Deere Classic. And so that, I think that spells, a good sign for Ben Griffin. I think there's no doubt he's probably deserving of being the favorite. I mean, McCarthy, there's Chris Kirk, there's maybe a handful of guys, but, I saw him anywhere from like 11-1 to 16-1.
Right.
And is he really going to go out there? I think when you have these birdie fests, there's a lot of randomness involved. And is Ben Griffin clearly the best player in this field? No, I think there's 60 different guys that could win this golf tournament. So I didn't, the shortest guy I went with was Chris Kirk, got him at 38. Then I went to Lucas Glover at 41. He's won here before, won in 2021, had a good week a couple of weeks ago at the Travelers Championship where he finished 9th. He's also done well at Colonial. And then I went with Michael Kim at 50-1. And Kim has won here as well, won here back in 2018. And if you look at what Michael Kim has done the last 10 weeks on tour, he hasn't missed a single cut. And that includes 3 signature events and 3 major championships. That's some pretty good golf. So I figure he goes to a place he's very comfortable with against a watered down field, 50-1. He's worth a shot. And then I played 3 longer bombs. Christian Bezadenhout, great short game. Kevin Roy at 79-1, who finished 8th last week in Detroit and was just killing it as far as the ball striking. He was 3rd in that field for strokes gained tee to green. And then a long bomb on the man from Finland, Sami Välimäki at 95-1, who, like Bezuidenhout, is a great putter. One thing that all 6 of my guys have in common, Joe, is I would say the strength of their game is all in that 75 to 150 yard window. They can all stick it with the wedges. And if they find a hot putter, we might find our guy in a playoff on Sunday again.
I'm telling you right now, if Kirk wins this and he stays in that house, Brady, you and I need to reserve that Airbnb come football season. And
we're here for the trophies house. Yeah, it's Joe
we just
and
want
Brady.
to send the trophy house all football season long. We're going to stay here.
We need winners. We want to stay here.
Unbelievable. But listen, that's why they're still going to play. The way Kirk is playing, it would not shock me. And that is a great price for a guy that's probably steaming a little bit on how that playoff ended up last go around. But
and I don't think it sets him back, Joe. He's a veteran who's won many. He's going to be fine. He got that close. He's like, you know what? I'm going to go do it again.
I agree. And Brady, we'll talk to you again a little later in the week. Enjoy your 4th. Game Time Decisions continues here on the Grid.
We all know a night out at the club in Vegas can get a little bit pricey, but I've got a tip that can save you a cover fee at some of the hottest nightclubs. All you have to do is sign up online for free with a credible guest list service. Then just show up before 10:30 and check right in. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
No way that I'm betting on the Cleveland Cavaliers for any reason whatsoever.
No.
Ever. Like, when they had LeBron James, it was a different story. I think Spider's great. He's no LeBron. I don't see him carrying them to a title. And I don't believe in the Knicks at all. The Knicks never get it done.
Pharrell Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
Kevin Durant, at the age of 36 years old, after 17 seasons that he has played in the NBA DRS, is now on his way to H-Town.
I don't think it's a great move. I wanted him to go to a ready-made championship team full of a veteran roster and see if he can ring chase that way. Not to go to an organization on the come-up that if you just stay the course, and also, what better blueprint do we have than just staying the course and okay, safe, right?
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
15.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in here. Game Time Decisions here on the Sports Grid Network. I'm Joe Raineri. Don't forget, coming up top of the hour, in-game live is coming your way. Scotty Wetzel and the crew will have you covered on all of the night's action. Plenty of Major League Baseball going on, but it's not often we get to say hello and talk to the new head coach of the New York Knicks. It is Coach James. What? No. Well, what's the difference? Coach James Young, Mike Brown. What's the difference? Bring them in. The coach, JY, in the house here. Coach, I know. I understand. I heard how elated you were and how you were jumping up the idea of getting rid of, Thibs, the old retread, and now bringing in the new retread. You've got to be ecstatic with this move as a Knicks guy.
Yeah, well, he was maybe the best available right now, to be honest with you, Joe, because obviously they tried to swing at a number of coaches, namely Ime and Jason Kidd. I thought I was going to wait for Jason Kidd to sign the extension or not, but I guess they know he's about to sign it. That's why the news came out today. Listen, I'm gonna go to half glass full here, and I'm gonna put on my glasses because I did a little bit of digging. Mike Brown is a lot better of a defensive coach than we wanted to give him credit for. He was the architect or the defensive coordinator for the Warriors team that was top 10 more than half of the years he was there. When you look at when he was with Cleveland, they're pretty much top 10 in defensive rating every year. Their lone bad year was with Sacramento in 22-23. They're 25th. Well, goddamn it, you got De'Aaron Fox, plays some defense. Kevin Huerter plays no defense. Malik Monk never played defense in his life. Sabonis, he's a cone. The only one that played a little bit of defense was Keegan Murray. That was pretty much it. So, I'm looking at it as this. I thought he did a really good job in Sacramento and did not deserve to be fired. I really believe that. So to me, he's coached superstars. I mean, anybody deals with LeBron can deal with pretty much anything in this world, right? He's coached vets. He's been to a finals. He's won a championship. He's good defensively, sneaky good offensively because he learned that split screen action. Sacramento's offense was really good when he was there. And the other thing he plays a bench. So he will play guys and develop. And that gets me really quick to as much of the Mike Brown thing is big. Joe, I think Jordan Clarkson and Yabusele are home runs for what the Knicks need. They are way too top heavy. They didn't have a bench. So now you could go with your starting lineup of Brunson, Hart, Bridges, Anunoby, and Cat. And if you bring everybody back, second unit now has Deuce McBride in it. It's got, Jordan Clarkson in it. It's got Mitchell Robinson. And it's got, obviously, Yabusele. Now, Yabusele can play 4, even 5 a little bit. So now if Mitchell Robinson gets hurt, now developing the young guys like Huck Porty and maybe even a Tyler Kolek, something that he's also good at, player development. Hey, listen, it took a long way to get there, but it is an upgrade to me, New York, in regards to getting Mike Brown. And you never know. There's a certain guy plays in LA, that played for twice, who always wants to have the storylines and come in his white horse and here I come to save the day. Maybe that means LeBron may want to ask to the Knicks. Who knows?
Yeah, I knew you were going to go there. I'll throw a name at Coach because it's come up over the last couple hours. I don't hate it because to your point, the Knicks, the depth was an issue here. Ben Simmons, apparently the Knicks are very interested in bringing Ben Simmons in. And for all the guy's faults, when healthy and he can play on the court, he is kind of a matchup nightmare for teams as a depth piece. So do you hate the idea of Simmons?
Is he my 10th man? No, I love it. No pressure on the kid. And listen, run the floor, get rebounds, pass the ball, play defense.
That's it.
Listen, he would be a home run, and it would be like it'd be like icing on the cake to a Brooklyn Nets organization whose best acquisition is Michael Porter Jr., a guy that can't stay healthy. They're probably going to flip at some point. By the way, they lost that trade because I think Cam Johnson is perfect for Denver. And the same team that kept all 5 draft picks, and I was there on draft night. And as our producer, Pat Foster, is probably where you're going to say and agree, we were shocked that team took not 1, not 2, but 3 point guards in the first round of the NBA draft.
Unbelievable. The other big news, Coach, that we heard, DeAndre Ayton got bought out there was some sort of buyout with Portland, and now he goes to the Lakers, who obviously needed a center. They could have used him last year, but do you like the move? Do you hate the move? Or are the Lakers really in rebuild without telling anybody?
Well, they're in a tough spot because they got to keep LeBron happy, right? And they know they needed to get a big. But let's be honest. Everybody knows that on this network, when it comes to DeAndre Ayton, I was the president and probably the only member of the DeAndre Ayton fan club. And I fell off the ship when he went to Portland. If you get him right, and if he is engaged, he is a 12-10, 14-10 player in the NBA. Now, I just find out what Portland did was absolutely comical, that they took Donovan Clingan last year, first round, lottery pick, and then took Yang Hansen, the kid from China, who now they call mini Joker, mini Şengün. Maybe he is. But for DeAndre Ayton to go to LA, I think it's a smart move. It's better than what they were going to get other places. And maybe he can benefit and help that organization out. Listen, he's young. He's young. And if he gets in the right spot, remember, game 1 of the NBA Finals versus Milwaukee, I think he was 22 and 18. He was the best player on the floor. Game 2, he played really well. Then he forgot to go to him, and then he lost the doggone series.
I got to, Coach, can you hang out for just one more minute, Coach? We got to break because I've got to get... I gotta get your thoughts on a couple of other teams and moves here because this free agency period, and I give the NBA credit, Coach. Kudos to them for staying in the headlines, in the topic of conversation, and the season being over. We'll talk more with the coach on Game Time Decisions here on the Grid.
We all know a night out at the club in Vegas can get a little bit pricey, but I've got a tip that can save you a cover fee at some of the hottest nightclubs. All you have to do is sign up online for free with a credible guest list service. Then just show up before 10:30 and check right in. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
No way that I'm betting on the Cleveland Cavaliers for any reason whatsoever.
No.
Ever. Like, when they had LeBron James, it was a different story. I think Spider's great. He's no LeBron. I don't see him carrying them to a title. And I don't believe in the Knicks at all. The Knicks never get it done.
Pharrell Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
Kevin Durant, at the age of 36 years old, after 17 seasons that he has played in the NBA DRS, is now on his way to H-Town.
I don't think it's a great move. I wanted him to go to a ready-made championship team full of a veteran roster and see if he can ring chase that way. Not to go to an organization on the come-up that if you just stay the course, and also, what better blueprint do we have than just staying the course and okay, safe, right?
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
Just a little flyer, couple of
15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Time Decisions here on the SportsGrid Network. Get ready, coming up, top of the hour, in-game live coming up, and they'll get you caught up with everything that's happening across the Major League Baseball scoreboard right now, including a grand slam and solo home run by the Mets now finally up 5-0 over Milwaukee. But let's bring back in the coach, James Young, here as the NBA never sleeps. And, Coach, I got to get your thoughts here because this week has been hilarious. If you're Giannis, how happy are you that, A, you just let Lillard walk, we're getting into that era with Giannis, right? Where we're talking about prime and we're talking about, well, is it a rebuild? Is it not? Is Miles Turner real? What else can they do, Coach? Like, how happy is Giannis right now, do you think? And what happens to the Bucks from here?
No, if you're Giannis, you can't be happy because at the end of the day, number one, he wanted Dame there. Like, he got Dame to go there, right? So there's number one. Number two, you replace a non-rebounding three-point shooting big with another non-rebounding big that's going to make $35 million. And listen, it's amazing because Preston Pacer, the head of the Indiana Pacer fan club on at SportsGrid was in my ear talking. And sometimes the best part of SportsGrid is honestly not just the content. It's the commercial breaks where we're all like talking trash to each other. But think about this. And I'm going to give the Pacers fans credit. Like, they could have paid him. They didn't pay him for a reason. I mean, let's go through it right now. MVP of the finals. Halliburton over him. Siakam over him. McConnell over him. Mathurin over him. Crap. Obi Toppin hit 5 threes in game 1 over him. Aaron Naismith over him. So what do we say? Miles Turner is was the 5th best player or 6th best player on the Pacers during the NBA Finals, and he got $35 million. Oh Lord! Only in America, and only to be 7 feet and shoot 3-pointers. I missed my mark.
But you can't hate it because you got to think that, listen, Indiana's like, we're not investing this kind of money in you. We're probably not investing anything because Halliburton's not playing next year.
Punting.
So they're punting, right? And it's the smart thing to do with what they've got tied up there. Where does Lillard go? Who do you think goes after Lillard here? Because he can pretty much sign with anybody. No cap issues now that he's guaranteed the 113 from Milwaukee.
Well, you're going to look at the two places that he was connected to. Is one, go back to Portland. Part of the reason why I think Chris Haynes reported that he wanted to do his rehab in Portland and it may have ticked off Milwaukee. Other one's Miami. He wanted to go to Miami. But you got to look at teams that are contenders that may need a point guard in a year or so. Does he try to go somewhere like Golden State and try to go there? If it goes south in Houston with Fat VanVleet, does he go to Houston? There's going to be spots where depending on what goes on in Boston, does he go to a place like Boston? After they, basically, I'm not going to say Boston's punting, but they had to get rid of Porzingis. They had to get rid of Holiday. They could slide him into the point guard spot, especially if they have to move, Derek White at some point. So there's going to be a list of suitors that are going to be there. And the good thing about him is he can be overly selective of where he wants to go.
Yeah, and Miami will call when it's all said and done at some particular point, as he was elated. And quietly, Coach, you see what Denver is doing in remaking their bench? And quietly, though, Coach, is beyond right. Not making a lot of noise, but you got to love the moves there.
Love getting Cam Johnson. Bruce Brown fortifies the bench. I think that's something we've talked about. I've talked about a lot on this network, how much they miss Bruce Brown and getting rid of him. I think getting Jonas Valanciunas to come off the bench as a big, someone that's serviceable, so that can get rebounds and spell Joker. I like what they've done with their bench. I also like to do what Houston's done with their bench. Getting Clint Capella to go with Steven Adams and go double big if they really want to, even though neither one of them can shoot more than 5 feet away. But getting Dorian Finney-Smith for their bench, look at Houston. Tell me if they're not the deepest 10 in the league. You go with Fred VanVleet at the point. You probably go with, let's say, Reed Sheppard at the 2, Thompson at the 3, Durant at the 4, Şengün at the 5, and your backups now include Cam Whitmore, Tari Eason, Dorian Finney-Smith, Clint Capella, and Steven Adams, with arguably the top 3 coaches in the league. I know Pat Foster will disagree, and Ime Udoka. That team in Houston is dangerous, and they are a legit challenger to Oklahoma City next year.
Listen, don't sleep on the 76ers bringing back Eric Gordon. Coach, always a pleasure to talk to you, my man. Game Time Decisions. We'll see you again tomorrow. In-game live coming up next.